Hello, everyone. I have this lovely, beautiful soul, Katie, with me here today. Thank you, Katie, for wanting to join me today. Uh, I just wonder, do you want to tell me about yourself and what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, firstly, thank you. Yeah, thank you for having me. And yeah, I'm looking forward to sharing and connecting with you and everyone who's watching. Yeah, so my name's Katie. So I guess a bit of a background. I come from, well, working in the sort of holistic and wellness industry from quite a young age, from college days, kind of studied and did holistic therapy, aromatherapy, reflexology, massage, and kind of built a kind of career in that for quite a long time. So I was always listening a lot to women, predominantly women, for many, many years. And then I was just really drawn to kind of the inner healing more so, and was aware just of, I guess it brought up a lot of awareness of what people were sort of, I would say, complaining about in some ways and sharing, telling their stories. It's a really intimate space, I think. So got to really learn a lot myself, actually. Um, and then from that kind of evolved into me then going into more kind of coaching. So then studied kind of life coaching and NLP, CBT, and just kind of evolved through that kind of field. So it's kind of like an extension of what I was doing before, really. And yeah, and then I've always been very spiritual and have always loved nature and magic and all this kind of stuff. So kind of everything's kind of like combined now, but I would say I have like a real multi toolbox, and then I kind of pull from this box. So yeah, I've done a lot of my own kind of personal self development and healing work, and then in turn, yeah, sort of share that with others and support others through their awakening processes and going through kind of transformation and change and life, basically. Life and what it brings. So yeah, what I really focus on is kind of emotional well-being and healing, and helping to create more emotional freedom within the body. Yeah, and to really kind of reconnect to spirit and really live kind of a more authentic life. Oh. So cute. Oh.
Thank you. It was my dog for everyone that didn't. Who is there? Thank
Just see this little head like.
you so much for sharing. And you have mentioned earlier about human design. Can you please tell me about that?
Yeah, so I've always really been into astrology again from quite a young age. And then it was, wow, nearly 4 years ago now. I was kind of on the path and doing a lot of self-development and my own healing. And it was a client, no, it was a lady I went to go and see for massage. And she said, oh, I really feel like you'd love human design. And I'd never heard of it before. And so I was like, okay. And so she recommended me a guy to go and have a reading with, and it was literally during like my Saturn return, so I was going through like all the changes, and yeah, it just kind of came into my life, and it was just from that day, just everything really a lot started to change. I was at one of many kind of awakenings, and it fascinated me, and I was really inspired by it. And I think because like astrology as well, human design, it's talking to you, to like your insides, and it's just like, yes, this is me, like, and it just really spoke to me, and I was really intrigued by it. So following on from that, I don't know if do you know much on human design or no? So they say you kind of go into your experiment. So it's kind of living by your sort of strategy and authority and kind of responding in that way. And ultimately it's a science, it's an experiment. So I was like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna see where this leads me in a way. And yeah, started to really get into it and learn about it more. And then ended up having a couple of readings with the guy. His name's Richard. So he's a 4/6 projector in human design, and he's studied it for like 20 years. You know, he's kind of walking, talking, living human design expert, I would say. And yeah, then I really wanted to learn more. So I started to study with him, and did some training with him. And then kind of discovered like a human design community called the Hub 27, and kind of got involved with them. Did some more training, another 3-month training course with them. And I just really love to use it within my work, within healing, coaching, because I just feel it creates a kind of understanding of how that person kind of operates, their mechanics, let's say. And I just find it just a beautiful way to kind of witness and observe myself and others, and explore, you know. It's like creating a deeper inner standing of oneself. And just for me, it's really opened me up, you know, and really enabled me to live more and more as me, as myself, like from my heart. And yeah, I love that. So
Thank
yeah.
you so much for sharing. Got curious myself, so I'm definitely gonna check out what is about, and find out more about it. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
And can I ask you what you do daily to keep up your mental health in check?
Yes, so I meditate every day. I've recently got into Hollow Sync. I don't know if you've heard of Hollow Sync meditations, but I've been using that for a little while recently, which I find really, really good. Exercise. I'm part of a women's group, like an international women's space, and one of the ladies on there does training. So that's really good for like my physical body. And I love yoga. So I do yoga, nature, like nature's like, you know, my best friend. I love it. So yeah, I spend a lot of time in nature, just being, you know, just being in nature and discovering, exploring, playing, creating. It's where I get a lot of my, whatever you may call it, downloads, inspiration, intuitive hits. Like, you know, I get a lot of stuff come through in nature. So yeah, breath work as well. I really find breath work so empowering. Just kind of to bring myself to my center and be really present, and journaling. I love journaling. I'm actually releasing a journal very soon, actually, a self-love journal, because it's been such a profound practice for me, from a very young age, actually. Yeah, so I love journaling. I think it's incredible, and just so much comes through. You know, I get so many ideas, like I just want to write, and it's kind of they're just all being put in, like intentions put into little pots all over the place, you know, and it's like, and then you get to see them kind of come alive later, and it's magical. So yeah, and connection, you know, love and connection, I think, with others as well, and having, yeah, a good support system, I think is so important. And yeah, just community as well. I would say they're my main, yeah, I would say so. Yeah. And just really kind of tuning in with myself, you know, a lot of checking in with dance. Oh, and now I'm like, oh, there's so many things. Dancing, singing, drumming, you know, all of these things as well. But yeah, it's very intuitive, I would say. Like I like to have some structure, but then kind of flow in that structure as well. So it's not always like a set routine every day. Sometimes it's different. It just as I feel and flow, you know, with what I'm feeling, really.
Thank you. I loved it, and so much ideas you come up with. So thank you so much. And and the journaling, I love the journaling, and the nature is so true with the nature. You know, it heals you in deeper level. It's magic.
Yeah, it really is like, oh, I love it so much.
Yeah, and it's so important with the just that to breathing fresh air and sitting down beside a tree. It's you feel just one with everything, and so small and tiny and humble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what about inner child healing work? Have you done any? Do you have any experience you want to share? Or... Anything?
Yeah, definitely. It's actually been a really profound journey for me, in a child healing. Um, yeah, just to give a bit of my story, I lost my mum when I was 13 years old. So this was a big shift for me in terms of why I started journaling and inner child work. So yeah, it's been a really big journey in terms of me to nurture that inner child, mother that inner child to become my own mother, my own father, and then to learn how to nurture that inner child within me. So yeah, from a young age, I would say it was a very intuitive journey for me to just start doing that. That's why I really got into kind of working the beauty and holistics, is like I want to learn how to look after myself, and look after my well-being, and also then in turn support others that also go through that. So yeah, I mean, I've done many different, I would say, my own kind of internal intuitive healing within a child, like lots of nurture and nourishment, but then also had my own therapy and coaching sessions as well. So I've kind of delved into both, my own and then with others as well. So yeah, it's such a profound journey, and will continue to be so forever. Our inner child's always there. And yeah, I have a lot of play in my life and a lot of fun, a lot of creative fun, because yeah, in some ways I feel my sort of teenager had to grow up quite quickly, in some ways. So it's been really important for me to continue to, yeah, nurture that inner child and let it play and have fun and create and do all the things. So yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your story and being vulnerable. So thank you so much. Can I ask you, you don't need to answer, but can I ask you, when you lost your mom, how was it for you to grow up without the mother beside you?
Difficult. Yeah, really challenging, because I also had already lost both my nanas as well when I was younger. So, the impact of like that kind of mother energy, grandmother energy just wasn't there as a kind of intermediate or intimate relationship. So it had a massive impact. But I also have always created a really good foundation of friends and of kind of people around me. Um, and yeah, it was really interesting because not long after it happened, I then started my bleed as well. So it was also my transition to kind of womanhood. And it was like, ah, like, what do I do here?
Mm,
Um, but yeah, I've always been, I would say, quite open about speaking and about sharing. And I think that was a real blessing for me, because I would speak and share on it a lot,
mm,
um, with friends and that. And
mm,
yeah, it definitely had and has been a very profound journey for me, but to a point where it's kind of now, I really connect with her spiritually, and it's incredible. And she's, yeah, the gatekeeper to my spirit world, and it's incredible when I get messages and all sorts come through. So in that sense, I also feel it's so magical at the same time, because I feel her, that she like just certain synchronicities and things that happen, and I feel really connected to
mm,
her. So yeah, there's beauty in that too, ultimately. But it taught me a lot about grieving, and yeah, a lot of healing ultimately as well to do there. But yeah, it taught me how to grieve and work with death, ultimately in the process of life and death.
mm. Thank you so much for sharing this. Thank you. And I was about to say before you said it that your mother is with you. I even felt her present with you,
Mm.
and I can see that you have done a lot of good work because you're standing with your power in your voice and how you stand, how you talk, and you have done a lot of inner work and a lot of, and the thing that you have your mother beside you, it make you strong, and so it's so lovely to see. So thank you. I feel so humbled to have you here today.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. It means a lot. So yeah, really beautiful. Thank you.
And do you have any advice for someone new in this journey, healing journey?
Ask for help. Yeah, don't be afraid to ask for help, because yeah, there's so many incredible people out there supporting, and there's so much support out there, and you don't have to do it all alone. And yeah, I think that's the one thing, is getting past that kind of, or through that kind of vulnerability of just saying, actually, like, I'm having a really tough time, because we all do, we all go through tough times, and it's all part of it. And I just think, yeah, getting past that, whatever that may be, to just get you to say, like, I need help, I need support, and that being okay. So that would be my, yeah, one thing, just kind of reaching out, knowing that there's always someone there. So yeah, that would be my thing. And just to work with someone that wants to support you and help and guide you, that's done this path, or been through stuff that you're maybe going through, or yeah, just getting to know yourself. I think it's the one thing, like, really, that's been, like, I would say, the greatest gift I've ever given to myself, is to get to know myself and understand myself, because that in itself creates so much freedom. So much freedom. So yeah, I would say, yeah, just really, and loving yourself, like, yeah, no matter what, throughout all of it, all the twists and trials and ups and downs, and just, yeah, really just loving yourself so deeply through and in all of it, and being love and seeing love, it's, yeah, yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Katie, for being here and sharing your story with us. I'm looking so forward to share your story with my audience too. So this will be so lovely. So thank you, and I'll see you soon. Okay.
So much. It was so nice. Thank you.
Good, good. Bye-bye then.
Bye.